Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new, if you're a twin flame newbie, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I am the author of the new book, Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love, and available now in paperback. This is the paperback, Kindle, and now on Audible books. Do you believe it? I can't believe it finally came out. It came out, I think, yesterday. Today is October 19th, 2019, or 10/19/19, which is somehow a magical angel number. I don't know what it means, but no, I kind of know what it means. And if you are currently reading Twin Flame Romance and you leave a review on Amazon for this lovely book and take a screenshot, email me the posted review, I will send you a promo code for a free Audible copy of Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy. So it's a great book. They kind of go hand in hand as far as healing is concerned. So today, oh my goodness, for all you newbie twin flames out there, and even if you're just someone who likes to watch my channel, we're going to talk about today, how do you really know if the person you met is your twin flame? Now, a lot of us have already awakened. As I said before in previous videos, that there was a huge portal. Not that there wasn't twin flames before the huge portal, but there was a huge portal that took place in August through about October to December of 2018, where there were loads of twin flames that awakened to this journey. Now, that portal has stayed open. It's not like it opened and shut. It's just that the portal started to open around August of 2018, and then it just was wide open around October 2018. And many of you guys met your twin flames or were activated by your twin flames in October 2018. When I found that out, I was super shocked because my twin flame and I were activated. We had that activating conversation mid-October 2018. So there you go. Just like a whole lot of you. Now, since the portal is still open and twin flames are awakening at lightning speed, it stands to reason that this year in 2019, there are a lot of twin flames that have awakened as well. So welcome to the insanity, you guys. Yes, it totally feels insane. Now, let me tell you this. I have a clean bill of mental health. I was in a relationship with an alcoholic, as you know, in my previous videos. If you watched this before, if you haven't watched me before, then you don't know that. But my soulmate relationship that was prior to my twin flame connection was a relationship with an alcoholic. Now, in order to help him, I actually went to see a psychotherapist with him, kind of like a buddy system, if you will. So we went to see the psychotherapist who did psychological testing, like extensive psychological testing. And it was one of those things where I was trying to convince him to get help for his alcoholism and like looking for co-occurring disorders, which if you're not familiar with alcoholism and co-occurring disorders, I do have videos on that in my YouTube channel as well. But I had to go through this extensive psychological testing because it was more like I'll do it if you do it type of thing. And because I felt like a good friend and a good girlfriend at the time, I was like, okay, I'll go through this extensive psychological testing, which I did and came out with flying colors. So I was like, all right. And the thing is, with those kind of tests, you cannot cheat the system because they put a lot of tricks in there to try to see what kind of psychological or mental disorders you have. And I was like 100,000% normal, if you will. I was like way above and beyond normal. They were like, yeah, you are like stellar mental health. So there you go. But being in this journey and the twin flame journey makes you feel like you are insane. So like I said, welcome to insanity if this really is your actual journey. You might be wondering, you've heard a lot without a doubt about twin flames, or maybe you met a person and that person caused you to start searching things on Google or on YouTube, like what is a soulmate connection, or what is this weird soul connection, or why do I feel connected to this person? And boom, you came upon twin flames. And so therefore, here I am explaining to you about twin flames. Now, let me tell you, back in February, which is the video that I have on my channel, which is going to show up as a top video, it has about 132,000 views on it. It's 14 signs to know that you've met your twin flame. So this video is kind of a shorter version of that, but not the same stuff, kind of different stuff. And the confusion for a lot of people is that the 14 signs can actually look a lot like a soulmate connection. Now, what I wrote about in my book, this one, and what I say on my YouTube channel is that honestly, labels really don't matter. It's like whether it's a twin flame connection, soulmate connection, karmic connection, labels really truly don't matter. However, there are some really weird things that happen in the twin flame journey, and in order for you to not feel insane, you need to understand what these weird things are and what the differences are between a twin flame connection and a soulmate connection. And I'm not going into the soulmate connection today, but I'm going to verify for you if your connection with this person that you've met is real in the twin flame realm, if you will. So the first thing is, I would say, first thing is give it time. Give it time. If you just met someone, if you just messaged them on Facebook or Instagram, if you just brushed past them at a party and you had this like butterfly in your stomach kind of feeling, or you felt connected to them, or you feel like you met them before, that is not an indication that they are your twin flame. It is an indication that there is something there, but it could be a karmic connection. It could be a soulmate connection. It could just mean that you had bad gas and you have butterflies in your stomach, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that that's your twin flame. So what I always say, and I do coaching and readings. So if you're interested in getting a 30, 60, or 90-minute twin flame reading or romance reading and coaching with that, what I say in my coaching sessions to my clients is that you need to give it time. So if it's just an initial meeting, you guys haven't actually met in person or haven't been chatting on Skype, whatever, WhatsApp, whatever you chat on, or Facebook, if you haven't had that constant interaction with somebody that you believe might be your twin, then the first piece of advice I would say to you is just to give it time. Because there are certain signs, symptoms, and happenings that happen to occur with twin flame activation. And sometimes that just takes time. It takes time to figure it out. And it takes time for those activations to take place. So for me, I met my twin flame about 6 weeks before we actually activated each other. Now, how did I know we were activated? Because the conversation that we had together in person, this was an in-person conversation that we had together, was a game changer. Like, it changed everything for both of us. And so it was like an instant game changer. It wasn't like, oh, I don't know, maybe I like this person, maybe I don't like this person. No, it was like, boom. It was like a flash of lightning game changer. So it took about 6 weeks though. Like, we knew each other for 6 weeks before that activation actually happened. So, and we were seeing each other pretty much every day. The second thing, and this is one of the most important things about just knowing, is this person that I just met, or is this person that I'm thinking about, is that person my twin flame? The second thing that's super important is that twin flame meetings, almost 100% of the time, are happenstance. They're happenstance meetings. It's not something you plan. It's not something you look for. So you're not going to go on Tinder or OkCupid to look for your twin flame. It is happenstance. You're at the right place at the right time and you bump into them. You meet them. You're like chatting on the same forum. Like, it just happens instantly and you do not look for it. Okay? If you are constantly searching like, oh my God, I gotta find my twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. First of all, you're insane. You need to go see the psychotherapist that I saw for some psychological testing, because if you want to be in a twin flame relationship, as I wrote in my book, you're crazy. It's the worst, most harrowing journey ever. It's something that none of us, and I say this often, it's something that none of us would have ever asked for. It's not the romantic love story, you guys. It is the most harrowing and difficult and heart-wrenching story that any of us who are in a twin flame connection have ever lived. There you go. You don't go looking for it. It comes and finds you. Honestly, it comes and finds you. When you are least expecting it, it hits you in the face. And that's exactly what happened to me. If you read a little bit of my story, which I don't tell a whole lot of my story because a lot of things still need to be concealed out of respect for my twin flame and our journey together. It's just something that like just occurs. It's something that you just run into, bump into, happenstance. The universe conspires that you guys actually meet together when you were least expecting it, when you were least looking for it. You were not out looking for this person. You were not out looking for a date. You weren't out there searching for something. It just happens to you. Okay. Now, what I really believe for that piece of it is I believe that that's actually part of the twin flame journey, meaning that one of the lessons we need to learn is that you need to let go of control and stay in the law of least effort so that you are not trying to make it happen. It just happens. You're trying not to make it happen. It just, there you go. It's right there, right out in front of you. Now, I posted a lot of videos about this next point. I actually posted a video yesterday, so if you look into the immediate video before this posting about your twin flame living inside of you, this is something I say often. It's something that I put in my book as well, so I'm not going to elaborate on that one. Go ahead and look at that video or read the book inside the chapter where it's about that twin flame connection that your twin actually does live inside of you. Now, here is the actual difference between a twin flame connection and other romantic connections. You cannot separate from your twin flame. Meaning, if you try to separate from, if you're in physical separation, which most of us on this twin flame journey, in this trajectory, in this collectivity, so those of us that awakened around August to December of 2018 and forward, most of us who had that awakening then, most of us are still in separation. Now, some of us are already in reunion, which is great, fantastic. And what I always say is like, one twin flame couple back into reunion is great for the collectivity. And then 2 is better, 3 is better, 4, like as this zipper effect starts to zip up, then more of us in the collectivity will become ready to be in reunion with our twin. So most of us though, who awakened around that time, and maybe before that too, I'm not excluding the group that awakened before that, but what I channel for and what I see in my readings are typically those who have met around 2018 and forward. So most of them are in separation or some kind of separation, kind of back and forth separation where they get together and then there's separation to and fro is the way I like to put it. When you are in separation from your twin, it's extremely painful. Really super duper painful. Now, it's not a pain like, oh, my boyfriend, my girlfriend just broke up with me. I feel so sad. I could go eat like 5 pints of Ben & Jerry's and just drown my sorrows out. It's not that. It's that even if you have that like mourning period, that piece of like that in a normal relationship, that like, okay, let me cry for a few days to a week and now I'm over it. Now I'm going to get on the wagon and go see someone else. Okay. That's normally what happens when you break up from a relationship. I hope so. If you're mentally healthy, that's what happens. But with a twin flame connection, that doesn't happen. The longer you stay in separation with your twin, the stronger the connection gets. It actually gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. You feel more of that person's presence. You feel more of like who they are. You feel more connected to them. You feel more this urgency that you need to be with them. It just gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger as the days go on. Now, through my own experience, and I'm not proud to say this, you guys, I'm totally not proud. I'm human. I'm going through this journey at the exact same time that you guys are going through this journey. Honestly, I am no better than you guys. I have more channeled information maybe than you have. I've been a spiritual teacher for 11 years, so maybe that helps a little bit too. I've been a psychic, like a practicing psychic for the past 3 years. So all those things put together maybe help that I have a little bit more information, but I am on the exact same journey that you guys are on. That's it, right? There are no exceptions for me. There are no exceptions to how I perceive these lessons and integrate these lessons that we need to learn. Like I'm doing this, I'm going through this journey at the same time that you guys are going through the journey. So like I said, I'm not proud to say this, but earlier this week, there was an incident where I just felt like I was done. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It's too painful. It hurts too much. I don't want to do this. I can't do this. And I made the conscious choice and the conscious decision to actually cut my twin off in the 5D. So if you don't know what 5D is, go ahead and view my other videos. I have one on vocabulary of twin flames. You understand. It's a spiritual realm, the 5D. So I had this like conversation with my twins, higher self in the 5D, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I cannot do it. And so I literally like cut myself off from him and his higher self, and I felt like the worst pain I could ever feel, like physical pain. I felt the worst physical pain, and it was around the area of the solar plexus. So as most of you will learn, there is a cord, almost like an umbilical cord, if you will, like constantly tying you and your twin together. Now that particular cord cannot be cut, but there are other cords that are attaching you to your twin and kind of like feeding information to and from. Now, God gives us free will choice. So if we want to cut off certain aspects of the connection, we can cut off certain aspects of the connection. It doesn't mean you're going to cut off all aspects of the connection, but you can certainly cut off certain aspects. So I made this conscious choice to just disconnect from him. And I will tell you, I was in the worst physical pain I've been in a really long time. And it was just this like, it was almost like I was cutting off a part of my body. That is the only way I can describe it. And it felt so wrong and it felt terrible and I felt physically sick. I felt physically bad, and it lasted like all through the night. And in the morning, I came to this realization that I couldn't do it. It was too painful. It was too painful to disconnect from him and like really disconnect from him. And it was like, I couldn't do it. It was a lot more painful to disconnect from him than to stay connected. So that was my lesson, you guys. And I know a lot of twin flames out there are experiencing that same exact thing. I have had readings all week and all last week, and I'll tell you, I do those readings, and what's really funny is that a lot of things that are happening along the general collectivity of the twin flame collectivity, I will actually see come out in a lot of the angel readings that I do throughout the week, that it's kind of like this whole wave that's happening as far as like what is happening to us as a collectivity throughout this journey. So one of the things that has come out a lot is I've tried to disconnect from my twin. I can't do it. Like, I cannot do it. I physically can't do it. I emotionally can't do it. I spiritually cannot do it. I can't disconnect from them. So that is the steadfast and telltale sign. And it's not obsession, you guys. We're not talking about obsession. Obsession is like an unhealthy level of like, oh my God, I need to be with them. I have to be with them. Like, and then I can't live without them. And I'm like, and you're in bed with depression. Like, you can't get up, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't exercise, you can't do anything, which during the dark night of the soul, sometimes that does happen, but that's not about your connection to your twin. That's about your own inner healing. Okay. So there's that. It's like, if you try to cut them out of your life completely, mind, body, soul, like you can't. You just can't. And so that's the one thing. And then the other thing is your twin is always with you, meaning that they are an ever ready presence, always with you. Okay, what I'd like to describe that is that it's almost like your guardian angel. Your twin is like your guardian angel, like looking over your shoulder and protecting you. So they're always kind of like, their presence is always there. It's not like you're obsessing about them, but they're always there with you. They're always there while you're eating, drinking, brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, taking a shower. Like, they're always with you. They're just a constant presence that are always, always, always with you. And that's another weird thing about twin flames, right? In other relationships, you generally do not get that. You might have inklings or like little moments here and there where you kind of feel like your partner might be with you or watching you or whatever, but nothing to the extent of a twin flame connection where you constantly feel their presence, like they were always with you. Like, about that, and about the other thing about saying like you can't cut them out of your life is that a lot of, and please don't post things about like, oh, you're caught up in ego and or like obsession or like this is like teenage romance. It's not that at all, you guys. There's a real large difference between those two. And the other thing in conversations that I've had with people I've read for, and myself included, is that in this connection, if it's a true twin flame connection, it's usually the first connection relationship. I know some of you don't like to say relationship because you're like, if we're in separation, we're not even in a relationship. Why are you calling it a relationship? It is still a relationship, but we'll call it connection. So usually for a lot of you, it's the first connection that you couldn't let go of. And so like for me, honestly, it's not hard for me to get dates, you guys. Like, and yes, I'm using my ego side to do this, but the truth is it's never been hard for me to get a date. Ever, never, ever, ever. Since I was like 12, okay? Never been hard for me. So it's not like I need to hold on to something that isn't working for me. Now, have I held on to relationships too long? Yes. And it was just more like I really cared about the person and I really loved the person. And if it was toxic, it was toxic, but it was more like I was already committed. It wasn't for lack of like, oh, I'll never get another date as long as I live. That was never the case for me. I've never had an issue. And I know there are a lot of people that I've read for, it's the same thing with them. Like, they're young and they're beautiful, they're vibrant, and like having a date or getting into a relationship has never been an issue for them either. And it's Matt Kahn. If you have not yet watched Matt Kahn, please, he's favorited on my YouTube channel, like in the side panel. He's so funny, but he talks about this thing about attachment and how like, oh, like, you know, I really want them to love me, and like, oh, I wish. And he's like, you know, like everyone wants like the top model or the beautiful person and, you know, just like the movie star quality type people. He's like, yeah, but those people, he's like, if you break up with them, they're not going to go pining after you. They're going to be like, okay, you know, swipe right, next, you know, or swipe left. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like, I feel the same way. Like throughout my whole life, it's been like, okay, you don't like me? Okay, next, you know, that's it. But this one, for a lot of you and all of you really who are in this twin flame collectivity, even though you cannot explain it, it's like something that you can't let go of. And it's almost like it won't let go of you. It's not like you're not letting go. It's like the connection will not let go of you. That is the difference. The connection will not let go of you. And as I said many times, I've tried to let go of the connection, and my twin would come into me in a dream and like tell me something, say something, talk about commitment and love, and I'd be like, what the heck? You're haunting my dreams now? Like, I'm trying to let go of you, and here you are in my dreams showing up and telling me things I want to hear. So really, those are the telltale signs of have you met someone. So let's recap. Time. Give it time. Don't just assume because you met someone, you had this butterfly feeling, this connection, that it's your twin flame. Not necessarily so. You only have one twin flame. There you go. Twin means two, right? Two people. 1, 2. It doesn't mean 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay? Number 2, it is a connection that you cannot run away from, and it's a connection that finds you and you don't find it. Okay? It's a connection that finds you, right? Next, you cannot cut off your twin. You can't cut him away. You can't cut him off. It doesn't work. Believe me, I've tried. And then number 4 is they are always present with you. No matter what you do, they're right there looking over your shoulder. And it's not in a creepy way. It's just they're protecting you. It's like they're like your guardian angel. Their presence is always there. And guess what? Your presence is always with them too. And for the unawakened twin, that can be super duper scary, right? And I did post a video on the divine masculine, especially, being very scared about that as well. But even non-intending, like you don't intend to be looking over their shoulder as well in the 5D, in the spiritual realm, but you're doing it anyway. You guys are connected. There's no way you couldn't do it. So I hope that clarified for you if you were on the fence about whether or not this is a twin flame connection. Again, skeptics, don't post anything in the comment section. Another thing I really, really want to say, to be polite on this channel, when you are posting comments, if you are going to give a categorical way about the way life works, I would like you to say, if you could, to be polite to the rest of the people on the forum, in my opinion, this is what I believe. Okay? In my opinion, this is what I believe. I'm going to give you an example. I said you only have one twin flame. The word twin means two. That means two parts, right? The soul splits in two. The yin-yang symbol, that is two, right? There are so many metaphors in this journey that indicate one soul split into two, right? Categorical would mean we have more than one twin flame. Thank you very much. That's categorical. Opinion is, in my opinion, I feel we might have more than one twin flame, right? So the problem with that is that you've got to be really sensitive to other people's belief systems and opinions. Now, of course, my belief systems and my opinions on my channel are on my channel because it's my YouTube channel, right? You want other opinions, go to another YouTube channel. But if you're posting a comment in an open forum, please be respectful that even though you are convinced of your views, that not everybody might share your views. So I wanted to say that as far as politeness goes. I really appreciate it. Just be polite to other people, please, on the forum. I don't want to shut off comments. If it gets too nasty, I will shut off comments. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Hit the bell for notifications. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames or potential twin flames. And thank you so much for supporting this YouTube channel by buying a book or 2 or 3, supporting me on Patreon, which the link is below for Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. You can also shop at my Amazon store to help kick back and support this YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.